Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of different character or group every episode. I'm Blue,
And I'm Jay.
and today we are going to be talking about the hero of heroes. Does he have other nicknames?
I don't think so.
I think it's just the hero of heroes, but you know what? That's a damn cool name. We're talking about Ben 10, full name Benjamin Kirby Tennyson.
Cue his theme song.
That theme song does slap. You know, I didn't know for so many years that the Alien Force theme song is the original theme song, just slowed down and more orchestral.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah, no.
That's actually why I loved it so much.
I was just like, oh, cool new song. Um, yeah, so again, his middle name is Kirby, paying homage to Jack Kirby, which I think is awesome. As a lover of superheroes in general, Ben 10 has always been great because it pays homage to so many different superhero properties, all while feeling like its own series. For instance, I get to do real world history. It's so rare that I get to do this segment anymore. Um, did you know that the entire premise of Ben 10 is based on an old Golden Age DC comic book?
I did not.
Yeah, it was called Dial H for Hero.
Any good?
It's a Golden Age comic book, so whether or not you can define it as good is whether or not you like comics from that era. But the entire premise was that it was a kid who had an old style rotary dial, and depending on what he dialed on it, he would become a different superhero. And a bunch of his superheroes were like, you know, unique to him, right? Like they were just like new heroes. But sometimes he would just turn into like already established actual superheroes. Like he could be Superman or Batman or whatever.
No shit.
Yeah. Um, which I'm guessing that it was kind of an obvious move as the years went on for them to write him out of the story, because if he existed in the universe,
He would
think
literally be the most powerful superhero there is.
he would, any tension would be broken when you could have two Supermen deal with it.
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths would have probably happened a lot differently. So it's like, oh no, the Flash killed himself, and he's like, "Hi, no, I'm here. That was the other guy." Oh, okay,
I'm
cool.
curious if they'll ever bring him back in the comics then. Like maybe even as a villain.
I feel like if you were going to do that nowadays, then people would be like, "Oh, fucking DC's ripping off Ben 10,"
Yeah, that's true.
which would be ironic but also hilarious. So for those of you that don't know, Ben 10 is a series, a cartoon series made by Man of Action, who they are a group of animated series creators that have worked on some great shit. I should have pulled up other stuff they worked on. Hang on. Man of Action Entertainment. First image that pops up is Ben 10, of course. What the fuck? I don't know any of these. What are these? In print. What? They're making comics? Okay.
Really?
Well, they made Generator Rex, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Ultimate Spider-Man and Avengers Assemble. Okay, less jazzed about those, but whatever. Mega Man Fully Charged, which I have not seen. I like Mega Man, but that looks like it's probably one of those properties that's like, we're going to ruin your childhood. Oh, Bakugan Battle Planet. Speaking of, not a big fan of the new Bakugan stuff.
No.
Okay, I thought they worked on more stuff. Oh, here we go. They did Big Hero 6. Why is that not on the list, but it's in the fucking synopsis at the top of the page? They worked on video games, Darksiders 3.
Oh shit.
Okay. I did not know they did video games. But anyway, so they've worked on a lot of good stuff. And I believe some of them came from other projects. Like I think some of them worked on stuff like Static Shock and Dexter's Lab and stuff like that. So they got some pedigree going for them. And the entire premise of the series is that a 10-year-old boy, Ben Tennyson, going on summer vacation with his grandpa Max and his cousin Gwen, who we have to talk about that in a second, but he finds a crashed satellite out in the woods, and it opens up and it has some kind of device in it, which he immediately thinks looks like a watch. And I'm like, I don't know, like it's got an hourglass symbol in it, so I can see why time would immediately pop up in your head, but it's definitely more of a wristband of some sort. But regardless, it jumps up and it goops onto his wrist like it's venom. And that shit attaches to him and it will not come off. But now whenever he turns the dial and he slaps it down, he can turn into one of 10 asterisk different aliens.
Just your friendly reminder that when he first transformed, he started a forest fire.
Immediately ruined everything. His period of growth into the hero of heroes is a long road, as you would expect for it from someone who was literally 10 years old when he got his powers. It should be. Let's start by just talking about Ben's capabilities as a human being, because he proves over the course of the series that he's got some insane potential that he just refuses to utilize.
Oh, for real. In all of the series.
Yeah, so as a human, his snap judgment making skills, his agility and everything are like super high tier. In episode 2, he rode on a motor scooter and rode up store shelves in such a way to pin a giant hamster down, avoiding its teeth and claws and it trying to murder him. And he was pulling some X Games level maneuvers, right?
Mm.
He's got an eidetic memory. One time in Ultimate Alien, they're running through a magical realm and their enemy Charmcaster slips into a magical gateway, and these mystical runes, keep in mind, he's never seen these runes before. He doesn't know how to read them. He's seeing these symbols for his first time. It's like if you saw the alphabet for your first time for like 2 seconds. And his cousin Gwen is like, we can't follow her because we don't know what sequence she used. And he's like, oh, no problem. And he just immediately starts drawing them in the dirt. And she's like, you memorize them after only looking at them for like 2 seconds? And he's like, yeah.
I forgot that happened actually, but yeah.
So he's got photographic memory. His, like, which means he could have a genius level intellect, but he's just a lazy shit. He doesn't like to apply himself in school. He doesn't like to pay attention. He gets obsessive about his world's equivalent of Pokemon, which is sumo slammers. He's just all about the action, and he doesn't like to think too hard, and he likes to rely on his powers too much, as evidenced by his original future iteration of Ben 10,000, never being a human anymore.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. One.
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. All right, I gotta bring this up real quick. Gwen is clearly not supposed to be his cousin.
What do you mean?
She's clearly originally designed to be his twin.
Oh yeah, yeah, they do look a lot alike.
But it's not even that. Ben and Gwen, they're named that way, but then also they have the same birthday.
Oh yeah.
They're born on the same day. They're the same age, same birthday. So
Why did they make the switch to cousins then?
I'm gonna assume it's because it must be in the writer's room that they realized that they were weirdly shippable. And they were like, we
Oh.
got to put some distance between them because we know how the internet's going to react to these characters.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of weird internet stuff, and I'll keep it at that.
But then we just trade one weird thing for another, because the only way in my mind that I can reconcile that these cousins had been born on the same day is if their parents had like an orgy. Because it's like, hey, we want to conceive a child. Oh, really? We kind of want to do it too. It's like, do you guys want to be in the same room when we do it?
I wasn't expecting to take this turn in this conversation.
Look, you got to think about it. What are the fucking astronomical odds that two siblings with their partners conceive a child on the exact same day?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
pretty
you,
fucking-
they're fucking weirdos. And you know what? The Tennysons are freaks, because Max saw not one but two different alien chicks and was like, I'm gonna fuck both of them.
Do you blame him though?
No, I cannot. He made the correct decision, but nobody's ever accused me of being vanilla.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm just saying he's freaky. All right, so oh yeah, let's talk about Max. He's the Men in Black, fucking Will Smith. So Grandpa Max was part of an organization called the Plumbers. And it's funny because in season 1 of the show, he's constantly like, yeah, I was a plumber. And you're just like, oh, okay. It makes sense. That's like a grandpa kind of profession. But he would always say shit like when they're chasing down a giant mutated cockatiel through the streets of Washington, D.C., he's like, just like the good old days before I retired. Or he like in one episode where Ben is sick, he makes an ancient Chinese remedy using a bunch of very weird ingredients. He's like, I learned it from a monk when I was in China. And Gwen just kind of stares at him. He's like, they have plumbing in China. But yeah, he was part of an alien hunting organization called the Plumbers. Which, okay, here's the other thing about Omniverse. We were kind of talking about that series before. I might actually include some of that in here. I might like edit it in or whatever if I feel like doing that much work. But if I do put it in, I'll put it in right here. So okay, how many of the Ben 10 series have you seen so that I know what we're working with here?
I've seen all of them except for the newest shitty one, but I've watched what was it? Omniverse like 5 times.
Really?
Yeah, I actually really liked Omniverse.
I was never able to get too far in it, but I somewhat recently started rewatching all the Ben 10 series, so I'm going to try doing Omniverse this time when I get there.
My only problem with Omniverse was I loved the art style, don't get me wrong. My only problem was it with the art style is that it made it look like he was younger, so it kind of fucked you up for a little bit, thinking that it was further in the beginning of the timeline.
Yeah, that and I don't like some of the character redesigns in Omniverse. Like Gwen's redesign that they did. Wasn't a fan of that. I didn't like the way they made some of the aliens look. Like Big Chill was made to be all beefy. Ghost Freak looked like he had some unnecessary additions, like stuff like that. I didn't like that Upgrade's eye was now the Omnitrix.
Yeah.
This is really something we should be saying in the episode. So
Yeah, that's fair.
okay, so let's get it started. Let's get it. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So the way that it established so much lore, both before and between the time jump, like okay, in the original series we only got 10-year-old Ben, and then we got a time jump to Alien Force when he's 15. But Omniverse, post 16-year-old Ben, decides to put a bunch of 11-year-old Ben lore in there. And like, it's not really a retcon, right? I had this argument with somebody. It's not a retcon because it's filling in what was previously empty space. It's not changing space that was already filled. That being said, it would be nice if feedback was an alien that Ben was so obsessed with, if at any point in Alien Force or Ultimate Alien he even once mentioned feedback. Like imagine like he's being Chromastone and he's absorbing energy and he's blasting his rainbow blasts, and someone's like, it's really cool how that one can redirect energy. And if he was just like, I used to have an alien that could do it better than this, but Chromastone's pretty cool too.
Yeah, that would have been nice, honestly.
Yeah. And I understand, like in the real world, the reason is because they didn't think of feedback until they got to Omniverse. I get that. I'm just saying that, like, from a writing perspective, it's like it's pretty obvious to tell that feedback is a new creation and that he didn't originally have it when he was 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that sort of stuff sometimes kind of takes me out of it a little bit. Shit like the plumbers being started because of George Washington.
I loved that episode, not gonna lie.
I haven't seen it. I know of it. Again, I haven't seen all of Omniverse, but I watched that Ink Tank video, the entire timeline of Ben 10. Have you seen that?
I have.
It's really good. And it helps make sense of some of the crazy shit. Because Omniverse gets real into time travel. Like real into time travel. Like conception of the universe, Doctor Who level shit.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do they ever reconcile the fact that they view the conception of a universe that they no longer reside in? Because that universe was destroyed.
Ben does, but he's the only one that actually like
remembers that he recreated the universe.
Yeah, and nobody else believes him ever.
I'm just confused about what is it, because the birth point of that universe is technically the year 2000 whatever, and so when they go back in time they're universe hopping to a previous iteration of the universe. I'm getting too thinky here, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm not real sure, honestly. I think you're thinking harder than the creators were when they made that episode.
Well, because it's possible if you're creating a universe that you create new beings who have memories of historical events that actually haven't happened in this universe because the universe was just made. So they could be like, oh yeah, George Washington fucking chopped down the cherry tree, but it's like, well, technically George Washington never exists in this universe because he created it with Mr. Smoothies and Kevin and shit.
Mm.
So
Well,
if you travel back in time, you'd have to be traveling to another universe.
well, if that's the case, if they never existed, like uh, in Mount Rushmore, made way before.
But Ben made it. Ben made this entire universe from his memories of the way that the previous universe was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, he basically, oh God, how fucked up do you think history is now because of the fact that he never paid much attention in school? So he's just like, Genghis Khan fucking fought Robin Hood on the Great Wall of China or some shit.
History would sound a lot more interesting now, not gonna lie.
It probably would. All right, so yeah, let's talk.
Slammers have been around forever.
You can see on these ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs that they were big fans of sumo slammers.
I guarantee you that in universe that's probably a thing somewhere.
Yeah. I'll just chalk it up to any inconsistencies he may have made. Maybe when the Celestial Sapiens got involved, they were like, okay, we got to smooth some of this shit over, right? Like we can't just have this fucking maniac kid ruin history to this point. So we'll fix some of this in post.
But the problem with that whole thing, in my
Yeah.
opinion at least, is everyone has like their own mindset and their own thoughts and shit. How are you gonna recreate that?
Well, how you can do anything if you can bend reality, like if you are omnipotent, then you are also to a degree omniscient, which means that you can literally dig up the thoughts of deceased beings and be like, this is how you would think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Because in order to be able to do everything, you also have to know everything. Like, I can't make an atomic explosion if I don't know what an atom is.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's they're gods. That's rules do not apply to them very clearly.
Plot armor.
Yeah. Well, the Christians are going to be mad at you over that one.
Oh well.
Yeah, they already are. Who cares? Let's start talking about some of the aliens. So, viewer, if you have never watched Ben 10, you may remember earlier when I was like, he can turn into 10 aliens, and then I said asterisk. That asterisk is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the original series, we had seen a total of 23 aliens, I believe. And I can name them in order without looking at the thing. It was Heat Blast, Wild Mutt, Diamond Head, Accelerate, Gray Matter, Forearms, Stinkfly, Ripjaws, Upgrade, Ghost Freak, Cannonbolt, Wild Vine. Oh, they changed these ones' names. Hang on. So they used to call the horror movie ones Bin Wolf, Bin Mummy, and Bin Victor.
Do they not call him that anymore?
Blitzwolfer, Snarrow, and Frankenstrike.
Oh, that's right. I did forget they named them.
Yeah. Upchuck, Ditto, Eye Guy, Way Big, Eon, And then the three that we saw from Ben 10,000 were Spitter, Buzzshock, and Arctiguana.
On a little side note, one
Uh-huh.
of the, all of Ben 10,000's iterations are like different Ben 10,000s, but the one I
You're lagging out, bud. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
oh sorry, I was saying that all of Ben 10,000's every time that you get actually like canonically a different Ben 10,000. There's one specifically that I really liked. It's where he can literally combine different aliens. Like he had a mix, or he had, was it Atomic X?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
he had the Biomnitrix. The
Yeah.
Biomnitrix, the one that likes both boys and girls.
I just loved that they can actually like combine different aliens.
Yeah. I
Fucking
know
OP.
he made combinations other than Atomic X, like he combined Humongousaur and Forearms, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, those are
There's
pretty
I think there was one more.
Hang on, we got Big Chuck, which sounds terrible. Crash Shocker. Okay, so I guess that's Shock Squatch and Crash Hopper. Uprig, which is Jury Rig and Upgrade, and Humongoop Soar.
Oh, yep.
Big Chuck, that would basically just be like a small version of Galactus.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I want another Ben 10 show, but it focuses on that Ben 10,000.
Yeah. So, yeah, because of the way that time travel should work, I appreciate that they do this properly. Every time Ben sees Ben 10,000, he sees his current future self. It creates a butterfly effect where after they part ways again, the future changes because now this past version of Ben has knowledge that Ben 10,000 never had. So they split timelines, and the next time he meets Ben 10,000, it's a new guy. Because if you interact with your future self, then when you hit that age, you are a different person because you had requisite knowledge that the other future iteration of yourself did not have.
I do like that they added that little detail.
It's really cool. So every time we see Ben 10,000, he's a little bit different. We didn't see him in Alien Force, did we? We saw him again in Ultimate Alien.
I don't think we did see him in Alien Force. No, because that mainly focused on the
High Greed and the shit with introducing the Ultimatrix with Velgax and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had the original Ben 10,000, which basically just had the Master Control. Then we had the Ultimate Alien Ben 10,000, who had the Ultimate Ben form, where he could access the different alien powers while staying in human form. See, when I talk about Ben 10 constantly paying homage to comics, that's a clear homage to Zen Banner. Bruce Banner, after achieving meditation and enlightenment, was able to draw out the power of the Hulk without transforming into Hulk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty awesome.
It is. Yeah. So okay, we got our 10-minute warning right now. Oh yeah, and then the third Ben 10,000 was the one that could fuse aliens, which is a very cool concept. There is an old Flash game where you could fuse the Ben 10 aliens, and it was so cool.
I remember seeing commercials for that on Cartoon Network, but I never had a computer at that age, so I could never say that, sadly. There's also toys on it.
Oh, speaking of old Ben 10 Flash stuff, I just remembered the original reason why I never wanted to watch Ben 10 Omniverse.
What's that?
It's because that's not my Ben 10 Omniverse. uh, the original Ben 10 Omniverse was an MMO game.
Really?
Yeah, it was an MMO Flash game where it was a story where the Omnitrix energy exploded outward and messed with reality in some parts. So like parts of the earth like got tore up and so became like little floating islands centered around Bellwood. And when that energy exploded outward, it randomly mutated a bunch of kids from Ben's school. And so you were playing as a random student from Ben's school who got turned into an alien form. And you could mix and match different alien parts from the Omnitrix to make your alien form.
Oh, that sounds fun, actually.
It was, and it had like RPG elements where you would level up and get new abilities and stuff. But it was because of the floating islands thing, it was also a platformer. So it was a side-scrolling platformer where you would fight through areas, fighting different kinds of aliens like Vulpamancers and whatnot, and you were helping Ben and them essentially try to fix the damage to the world.
Mm.
But like all great MMOs from that particular era, Bakugan Dimensions also suffered from this. It didn't last very long and they shut it down.
Oh.
And that sucks. And I was so upset. So cut to a few years later, I hear news about Ben 10 Omniverse again, and I'm like, oh, they're reviving it, and I just see that it's a new show. I'm like, fuck this shit. So I was mad. I was big mad, and so I refused to watch it.
Fair on. But now, since you're in the middle of watching it, what are your thoughts?
I'm not in the middle of watching it. I've seen like the first 3 or 4 episodes previously, but I'm currently still in Alien Force. I've been rewatching the entire series.
Oh, okay.
And Alien Force slows down a little bit for me. So I've kind of been dragging my feet a little bit. I want to say I do love Alien Force. I adored the switch to more dark and mature themes when it came out, but it is not as high energy as the original show. Things from the lack of sound effects, like cartoony sound effects, to the dialogue being a little bit more dry at times, means I got to be in a specific kind of mood to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true.
Ultimate Alien kind of fixes that. It brings back some of the energy of the original series while keeping the more mature themes of Alien Force. So it bridges the gap a little bit better, I feel.
And then Omniverse just goes back to the original energy.
Yeah. Which if I was going to pick a vibe that's my favorite, I would probably say Ultimate Alien. I don't like that they basically just abandoned the darker and more adult themes completely in Omniverse.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, actually.
Also, a bunch of the new aliens in Omniverse suck.
Specifically.
Like Walkatrout is like, he's a joke. And it's like, haha, it's funny, but then it's like, okay, well, you've now committed to this being one of the new aliens just for this joke. Blocks, I don't care what anyone says, Blocks sucks.
It's Legos. It's cool.
He fucking sucks. I like Legos, and I think it's cool that he's colorful, but his powers bother me. So what, you can just spontaneously generate matter to make yourself a big wall and shit?
Build the wall.
Shut the fuck up. You've got ones that were named in I think Ken 10 originally, like Topic. It's like, it's cool that you're pulling from people that were only named before and never actually seen, but there's only like a total of like 60 or 80 different aliens among the entire franchise, and you're wasting valuable alien spots for some of these that are awful.
Well, I mean, realistically, not every alien can be fucking amazing.
No, but
just like how every human can't be awesome.
no, but the ratio of how many suck in Omniverse to how many are good. Like the really good ones in Omniverse, from what I've seen, are like Feedback, Gravitack, Bullfrag, and I'm not talking in pure power, right? I'm talking about like design, how fun they are to watch, how interesting they are, power. I'm taking a lot of different things into account. Like Kick and Hawk is pretty cool, right? But then you've also got things like Molestache. And so compare the amount, compare the ratio of newly introduced aliens that are really good versus ones that are like kind of shitty, to the ratio in others, because the original series, you know, is like the first shot, so maybe that's a little bit unfair because they had the complete freedom to make whatever they want. But in Alien Force, most of the original 10 aliens that appear in that are some of the best in the entire franchise, and they also included Wrath. Nanomech and Lodestar are kind of whatever, right? But that's only two. Ultimate Alien had the 5 elemental aliens. Fast Track, he's not quite Accelerate, but he's still pretty cool. I think Evil was pretty cool. I think Shock Squatch is pretty cool. And there's an argument to be made for Clockwork as well. The only ones that are really kind of shitty are like Jury Rig and Chameleon.
Why?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I got you.
I just think that the other series did better at introducing more interesting aliens. That being said, I don't hate all the Omniverse aliens. Look, as for much as Feedback is sort of oversold with Omniverse, it's for a good reason. He's pretty fucking sick. It's obvious why Ben became addicted to using him, because he's really cool. It's almost like they had the idea for Feedback and they were like, let's make an entire new series starring this guy. And they were like, oh wait, we do have to make other aliens. And so then they made Ball Weevil. What does Ball Weevil do?
I believe he eats some stuff and then he fucking makes it into like a big ball that he rolls around and shoots it and it like explodes.
It sounds like a worse up Chuck.
Quote me on the eating part though.
Okay. I mean, he's cute, right?
Yeah.
So I can't fault him for that. I do kind of love Ball Weevil. I won't lie. All right, we're at less than a minute. So when we come back, we're going to start talking about some of the non-alien, non-Omnitrix shit that happens in this universe because it gets wild. Now we just got to kind of sit around with our thumb up our ass until it decides to end.
Think about doing Penny Phantom at some point too.
You're going to have to fix your internet when we come back. Because I just heard bad? Nothing.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so Ben 10 does not just have alien shit. It's also got magic shit, which the magic in the series has also been kind of back and forth, right? Because in the original series, it was just straight up magic. And then in Alien Force, they kind of tried to be like, they kind of tried to do that thing that was popularized in the early 2010s, especially with stuff like Thor, in that, well, magic isn't really magic, right? It's just science we don't understand yet, which it's like, yeah, that is what it is, but also let it be like magical, because they were trying to be like, well, the spells were results of like alien powers and shit, and the reason Gwen was so good at it is because she's an Anodite,
Mm.
which but then like in Ultimate Alien they came back around, so it's like, yeah, but it's alien powered magic. So um and like, look, here's the thing. If you want to break down magic on an extremely analytical level, it is always going to be, it's basically going to be what Doctor Strange described it as, which is you're drawing on like multiversal energies, or you're pulling power from planes of existence that normal beings can't perceive and comprehend. Like if you're summoning a fucking spectral hand to shoot a fireball out of a portal, it's like, well, that's because that's a being with fire manipulation abilities that exists within another plane of existence, and you're just like tapping into its power for a second. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's always what magic has been. And I'm sure you could break it down on a scientific level. As a matter of fact, I think in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Tony is well, the Avengers are fighting some kind of magical enemy, and he's basically unbeatable. And like towards the end of the fight, Iron Man flies in, and the magical being is like, huh, you can't, and he just hits him with a laser and it successfully hurts him. And the guy's like, oh, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I just studied your magic and figured out how to make a countermeasure for it. And like Thor, someone is like, what? How could you do that? And he's like, well, your magic still operates on formulas and rules. They're weird rules, but there is a science behind it, so I could figure it out. Which is great. I love shit like that. I like it when it's like, it's just whenever they're like borderline ashamed to call it magic at all, bugs me, because like in the original Thor movie, they're very much like, yeah, they're aliens and they're using like advanced technologies and whatnot. It's like, sure, but he's still drawing lightning bolts out of the clouds with a hammer. So,
Very powerful.
yeah. So fuck, you know, let it be called magic. Who cares? I'm also extremely scientifically minded. Like whenever people try to be like, how could you possibly explain this if it's not a ghost? It's like, well, it could be fucking anything, couldn't it? Like between things like cosmic strings and solar flares and fucking wormholes, like there's a lot of shit out there that we barely have any comprehension of. Like we don't know everything. We don't know every scientific phenomenon that this universe holds. We probably never will. So if some shit happens and I don't have an explanation for it, that doesn't mean that it's ghosts. It could be fucking anything. And we're just at a societal point where we're still too stupid to understand it. Like if someone's like, something randomly flies across the room, how could that be anything but a ghost? It's like, it could literally be anything but a ghost. It could be fucking anything.
Wind is the most plausible.
I'm talking about inside a room. But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like, if a fucking spurt of fire comes off of the sun in a certain kind of way, then like 100 years later, it affects the magnetic fields of the planet and shit. How are we supposed to track that? How are we supposed to know when a solar flare happened a fucking century ago? So it's like, yeah, of course weird shit happens that we can't explain. We don't have all the data of everything that happens in the universe. Why
Nah,
does
I
shit
got you.
randomly move? Well, maybe it's because we're on a big fucking spinning rock hurtling in a spinning galaxy. We're always moving. Like, okay, the best way I can describe what I mean by that is, have you ever ridden the fair ride, the Gravitron?
Gravitron, yeah.
It no, Jesus, fuck.
What?
My fucking housemate just slipped a letter under my door.
Scared you?
It did. It scared the shit out of me. And he was laughing as he walked away.
Blue's easily scared, confirmed.
I have trauma. Besides, I scare other people way more than I get scared. I have this bad habit of just like appearing like a fucking ghost. Like people will like turn their head and then look back and I'm just standing there. And I don't mean to do it half the time. What was I saying? Oh, if you've ever ridden the Gravitron, like imagine you're spinning, right? So the centrifugal force is like pushing you outwards like it normally does.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a stutter in the rotary mechanics of that machine for like a split second, everyone inside of it would jolt to the right like 3 inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now imagine that on a fucking planet.
Oh God. We'd all go fly.
It like literally any kind of force that is exerted upon the earth could send random shit like flying all of a sudden. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm just trying to think of how powerful whatever it would have to be, though.
But that's the thing. There's cosmic forces out there that consume solar systems. We
Yeah.
have a black hole that is advancing towards our solar system, actually, which is concerning. But there's also literally nothing we can do about that. So we just kind of gotta hope.
I'm gonna sound like a boomer, but that sounds like not my problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Leave it for the future generations.
yeah. I mean, unless it shows up before we die.
I seriously doubt that, though.
Yeah. Um, but like, you know, it's, I'm just saying weird shit happens that, and just because I don't immediately know exactly what happened doesn't mean that your shit about aliens inventing the pyramids or your grandmother haunting your fucking attic window or whatever is true. That it might be something else. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? Maybe fucking Eustace Bag or whoever is haunting your kitchen. But
I
what?
said I'd buy ghost stuff, though.
Sure, it's cool. I'm just saying that like when people say that they have definitive proof, I'm like, is it though? I really think you want it to be definitive proof, but that doesn't mean that it is. Again, I'm not saying this stuff doesn't exist. I'm saying I have no fucking ability to know if it exists or not. You want to know how I'll be able to know if ghosts and shit exist?
If they show up in front of your face.
No, I have to die. And spoiler alert, it's going to be really hard for me to confirm or deny for you guys after I'm dead what death is like.
I'll get a Ouija board.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, I use one as a mouse, so
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, again, you have no confirmation about what, like, okay, people are like, I contacted the dead with my Ouija board. It's like, well, I believe that you think that you contacted the dead with your Ouija board, but I also have no confirmation. I can't get a firsthand account from a ghost and know for a fact that I'm talking to a ghost, right? So, like, I talked to a medium. Well, a bunch of them are just people that are like doing cold reading.
For real though, they're all a scam.
Yeah, every single one of those Miss Cleo motherfuckers is lying to you and emotionally manipulating you, but they're really good at emotionally manipulating you. So they're preying on your emotions, which take precedence over your logic in that moment. And so you go, I got to talk to my daddy, and it was so beautiful. And it's like, but you didn't though. So you can't take their word as evidence that an afterlife exists. It's not the same as like a trial, right? Where someone's testimonial can be backed up by physical evidence. None of this can be backed up by physical evidence because it is by nature not physically evident. You're dealing with the spiritual. There is no physical trace. There is no data point to track on that. Again, maybe sometime in the far future, we'll have the ability to tap into some kind of fucking death realm or whatever. Like, we can't accurately predict what will or won't be possible in the far future. You know, cut to 1,000 years ago, instantaneous communication with someone across the world was not possible, was not even conceivable. How the fuck is a raven going to fly to China that fast? So I can't say that we will never know because I won't know what the fuck we'll ever know. But I'm just saying right now, we have no clue. And whenever someone says, I know definitively, no, you don't, immediately you lose credibility. You're in your feelings. You are stating as a fact what you want to be true or what you think might be true, not what you know is actually true. And that's why I'm just like, ghosts are cool as an idea. I don't take it that seriously as a theory, though. Why did we start talking about this? Wasn't this a Ben 10 episode?
I was literally about to ask the same thing.
I don't remember how we got here. Where am I? Okay. It was probably because we were talking about magic and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, all that is to say, it's always bugged me that both Ben and Gwen are descended from an Anodite. They're like, what would that be? Like half a quarter Anodite, and Gwen can fully tap into it and even manifest an Anodite energy body. But Ben is always supposed to like have nothing except for the ultimate alien iteration of Ben 10,000, who at one point when they're fighting Eon, which is cool that they brought Eon back, by the way, they're fighting Eon, and suddenly like a pink blast shoots from off screen, and they all turn around, and Ultimate Ben is standing there, and they're like, did you just fire a magic blast? And he's like, I'm also a quarter Anodite, and I've seen Gwen doing it for literal decades now, so of course I picked up on a thing or two about it.
I think I don't know in universe why he doesn't, but out of universe they didn't have, so everyone would have their own thing. I remember the writers talking about that at some point.
Yeah, so I know that in universe, having the genetics of an Anodite doesn't necessarily mean that you have the connection to Anodite powers. Like the way Verdona said it in Ultimate Alien was, you don't have the spark. Like there's some kind of ability to tap into the universe's energy of mana that can be carried with Anodite DNA, but is not inherently carried with it, right?
Yeah.
Like something about merging these energy bodies with physical bodies, like an Anodite who is a pure energy being, banging a human being and popping out some human hybrid kids. They have the potential to inherit Anodite powers, but a lot of times they just don't. Gwen happened to win the genetic lottery there, and I understand that. But we also see beings like Hex and Charmcaster who are not powered by magic pink energy alien DNA using spells. Magic is not limited to Anodites. They're just really good at doing it. So the fact that we've only ever seen Ben do anything magical exactly once in the entire franchise, and I understand they wanted to leave that mostly for Gwen. But it's not like the Omnitrix has never been used with Gwen either. There was that What If episode in the original series, which was weird, by the way, because it was an alternate timeline thing, but it was Ben with the memories of the normal timeline. That was weird. But also in Omniverse, I know that there's an iteration of the universe where Gwen got the Omnitrix again.
Yep.
Wait, is that the same one?
I don't actually know if it is or not.
It would be cool if that was the same Gwen. Wait, no, it can't be, because at the end of that episode, Max got it.
Already. Excuse me.
Anyway, there is a lot of cool shit in Ben 10. If you're not in it for Star Trek style alien politics, there's plenty of other stuff to enjoy. Everything from Vilgax, an evil alien warlord who just won't quit, to the Dagon, which is like he's a demon basically that like his biggest enemies are like immortal knights with magic swords. There are magic users, Hex and Charmcaster. So even just freaks like Clancy, who's a weird homeless guy whose power is bug manipulation. He's like Shino from Naruto if he was like 10 times more disgusting. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, and then there's Dr. Animo, who's a fucking delight. He's one of Ben's longest running reoccurring villains, and I fucking love Dr. Animo. He might be my favorite villain.
Oh, for real. He was a riot.
Every time he shows up, she's like, "It's me, Dr. Animo." I'm just like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good one." Because he's so fucking ridiculous. He's like on some Legion of Doom level supervillainy.
Mm.
And I love it. And the storylines for Ben 10 can get pretty wild as well. So his strongest alien is Alien X. And real quick, apparently it's been confirmed by the showrunners that Alien X, the Celestial Sapien, is not the most powerful alien in the Omnitrix.
I remember them tweeting about that.
And I'm just left sitting there like, what the fuck? Does he have literal actual God, the progenitor of the universe, in his Omnitrix? Because
I'm assuming, honestly, at this point, it wouldn't surprise me. He just doesn't know he has access to it.
right, because there's like 1,093 different DNA strands from species all across the universe in the Omnitrix.
Mm-hmm.
Technically not in the Omnitrix. So let's talk about this real quick. There is a planet called Primus, which is definitely a Transformers reference. And on Primus, it is an artificial planet. It was made by Azimuth, the Galvan who created the Omnitrix. And the rivers of that planet are glowing green, and it's called the Codon Stream. And it's basically just a vat of primordial ooze where Azimuth dumps the DNA of a bunch of different kinds of aliens in there. And what the Omnitrix is basically a radio receiver that picks up on the signals that are available on Primus in the Codon Stream. And so it accesses the DNA that is in the Codon Stream via whatever wireless device it has and imparts that DNA into Ben's body.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Man's
is really
so smart, he literally made his own fucking planet.
yeah, he did. I had this cool idea like a couple months ago, and I shared it with people on a Ben 10 channel, and it led to a fucking argument. And I'm like, you are so fucking miserable to be trying to nitpick and shit over something that I literally thought of when I was like about to go to sleep for the night. But my idea was this. Okay, you want to know a really cool way for Ben to have master control of the Omnitrix? Follow me on this. He turns into a cloning species like Echo Echo or Ditto. He turns himself back into Ben like he did in that one episode where he split himself up into 3 different Bens. Right? Turn one of himself into Clockwork and turn the other one into Gray Matter. All of the species of the Omnitrix aliens are peak versions of their species, meaning they can be the best of their people. Azimuth is the smartest alien. And if he is the peak of their species, then that means Gray Matter can also be as smart as Azimuth. The only thing is that Azimuth is thousands of years old, and Gray Matter is the equivalent of like a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So what do? You have Clockwork age Gray Matter until he is Azimuth age. Then you have Ben, with all of the knowledge of Azimuth, able to freely manipulate the Omnitrix at will. What?
That's a good idea, though.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool idea. And then this fucking loser who was like, I can't even remember what he was complaining about. He was, I don't know. He was complaining about, he was complaining about the idea that the Omnitrix transforms you into the relative age of the user when they transform. And he was like, it doesn't do that. The Omnitrix turns you into a peak alien, which means you're at a peak age. And I'm like, well, that's clearly not true. And he's like, yes, it is. And so I showed him images from the episode where Ben got hit with the Fountain of Youth and he was 4 years old, and all of his aliens were 4 years old. Like it was a baby Heat Blast and a baby Wild Mutt. And he was like, that doesn't prove anything. And I'm like, if his aliens were always a consistent age, then they wouldn't change when his age changes. And they all do. When we see Ben 10,000, the Heat Blast looks different than when Ben is 10 years old. And that Heat Blast also looks different when Ben is 4 years old. Like, the aliens change depending on what his age is, which means their age changes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I know! Which means it was a stupid fucking argument. It was ridiculous, man. I was like, all right, whatever. You're a fucking loser. Trying to argue with me about this cartoon. Anyway. I legitimately think Ben 10 is one of the best modern superhero franchises. It has its ups and downs. It's not perfect, uh, but it is enjoyable. And lately, like, okay, a couple years ago, nobody had reaction series to it. Like, the only people that ever reacted to Ben 10 was like the Flaming Shark and some other dude whose name I can't remember, right?
Hmm.
But they were like really low quality reactions. Um, and that always frustrated me. But now all of a sudden, we've got Nani no Anime and Sour Taste and Blind Wave all reacting to Ben 10. I think there's somebody else too that I've been watching recently. Um, but like there's just a bunch of uh, Ben 10 reactions, and it's cool. It's nice to see that the series is like kind of having a resurgence. Excuse me. Um, so what would you give Ben 10 like out of 10? Out of 10. Um, I think like for the original series, right? I would probably give it like I think I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. Um, for Alien Force, maybe I'd give it like a 7. Because again, while it gets into some cool stuff, I think the energy just isn't there as much.
Mm.
I think Ultimate Alien, despite the fact that that one's pretty divisive for some people, I might give that like a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed
It was really good.
it. Yeah.
And then the newest reboot, 0 out of 10.
Have you watched it?
No, and I refuse.
Yeah. I I don't like the redesign. I don't think it was necessary to retread old ground again. Um, they didn't have to do that.
No, not at all.
Uh, but what would you give the series that you have seen?
The original, a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Alien Force, probably a 9.
Damn, you really like Alien Force.
I did.
I do. I really like some of the stuff in there. It's just kind of like it slows down a little bit too much for my ADHD to be it. It's not as bingeable as the
Yeah.
original series for me. But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Ultimate Alien would be like a 9.5.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. An Omniverse, an 8.5.
All right, it's respectable.
The only reason that the original 8 now is only because of the art. I'm probably gonna be for that, but like, it
Because of the
really
what?
the art style.
Okay,
I mean, nothing wrong with it. Great. It's just aged.
it's a pretty big divergence from the old art style because even in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, when the art style technically was different from the original series, it looked more like it was just an evolution of the original art style from a little bit less cartoony, a little bit more realistic. But
Yeah.
but in episodes where you see young Ben in Ultimate Alien, the art style is close enough that he still looks like the same character. So it's like,
Mhm.
oh, they just they smooth things down a little bit, but that's about it. It still looks largely the same. So
Yeah.
and then Omniverse has a completely different art style out of nowhere. It's a lot more anime inspired, I think.
I'd say more cartoony.
Yeah, I mean, well, because the reason I say that is because they've got the more exaggerated body proportions and they got like the big eyes and everything. You could say it either way, honestly. I guess both mediums have that. But either way. So yeah, we're coming up to the end. I still definitely recommend Ben 10 as a series. I mean, like, what other series has an Indiana Jones style, like we're trying to hunt down these pieces of this ancient map and we're racing our enemy to get them, and whoever managed to get all the pieces of the map gets to stand in the hands of a giant space god and absorb the power of their newborn baby. That's
I think
pretty
that's a
fucking
very
metal.
unique. Yeah.
And if you want to know what I'm talking about, you should watch Ben 10. All right. I think that's pretty good. I think we're good to wrap up. What do you think? Any final thoughts?
I say definitely watch it. Watch it. It's worth it.
Yes, 100%. If for nothing else, like the action is good. The twists and turns along the way are always exciting and surprising. Every time Ben gets a new alien, it's awesome. And it's like we didn't even get into shit like Ghost Freak.
God.
One of the best storylines there. I'm not going to spoil it. If you want to know what's up with Ghost Freak, you have to watch the series. So, everyone, thank you for listening. You can support the podcast on my Anchor page. Works just the same as Patreon. You can join the Discord. This episode was voted on in the Discord. So, sometimes I'll post polls. You can decide what you want to vote on in those polls, what the next episode will be. I got 3 whole votes this time. But also, if you just want to drop a suggestion for a kind of episode that you'd like to listen to, you can do that as well. You can follow me at Cape Corner on Twitter. That's where I post all the episode updates. If I ever have any news about the series, I'll post it there. You can follow Jay, Shitposter of America, on Facebook. In the description of the episode, there's the Hall of Pods link tree, the Hall of Pods podcast network. We got SJW Comic Book Club. We got True Believers, the comic book podcast, and we got Phantom Optimists. Go give those guys a listen. They're all pretty cool. And if you know anybody that really loves Ben 10 and you think they would enjoy this discussion that we had on it, share this episode with a friend. Or if you were trying to convince somebody to get into Ben 10, this would be a good episode too. Because I think we said enough to pique your interest without completely spoiling things.
We did really good on not spoiling anything. Actually.
We're fucking great. We should give ourselves a pat on the back and a jerk on our dick.
I have a suggestion for one of the future episodes.
Oh dear God, I'm afraid of that transition.
Danny Phantom.
Sure, okay. That'll probably be one where you're talking more than me.
Okay.
Because like I've seen a few episodes of it, right? But it didn't come out until I was like late in high school. So I was kind of stepping away from cartoons for a little bit at that point. And also Butch Hartman sucks. But yes, Danny Phantom as a property has always been pretty cool. And I know that actually there is a fan-made Ben 10 comic by the guys behind the Ink Tank. And they did like some crossover stuff with Danny Phantom.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I haven't actually seen the whole thing, but from what I've seen, it actually looks really fucking amazing, and I want to full-on read it one day.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, look that up. You can. He talks about it at the end of the Ink Tank video. the entire story of Ben 10 illustrated or whatever.
Mm.
You'll find it on YouTube. It's a big video. Anyway. Oh, and we didn't even talk about the fucking fact that my boy Yuri Lowenthal voices Ben. Man, like there's just a lot to say about it, but I think we've said enough. Like I said, you want to find out more, check it out. It's on HBO Max. Like all of the series are on HBO Max.
While you watch it, you should definitely have a smoothie with you too.
A Mr. Smoothie. All right, everybody, thank you for listening. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes. It's hero time.
Believe it.
Shut the fuck up. How dare you bring that into my house?
You're welcome.